Alright, today we're in the rollback, and I've got a '06 Nissan Murano, and so far what I'm figuring out is the key that actually goes in the ignition has lost its signal from the ignition. I guess the immobilizer is bad about losing its connection or whatever in the Nissans. So I'm going to a local shop. It's actually a mechanic shop. This guy actually has the reprogramming software and the mobilizer and everything at his shop. So I'm gonna take the Murano there, and hopefully we might get lucky on, you know, that's the only thing wrong with it. I did look under it. The exhaust is cut off. So this guy that I got it from probably bought it for the cats. There may be more wrong with it than what I was thinking. If the transmission's bad, it does have a VQ35DE in the car, so I do need that motor for another car. But if the motor's bad, it's really going to be just a scrap the car issue, part it out kind of thing, take my losses and go on to the next one. I should have really looked at it a little further, spent a little more effort and paying attention to it. But there's a few, you know, like the doors are good and the bumpers, and there's some interior parts that are okay. It really needs a bath inside and out. The paint's actually flaking off. So we're gonna keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully it's a win. Hopefully that this guy didn't just stick a immobilizer or a valet key in it and be like, oh, it won't crank and I don't know why. You know, that's actually pretty slick if he's done that. Touche, you know, he got me on that one. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that it was a security issue on it. Somebody just gave up on it, threw their hands in the air. This guy cut the cats off, flipped it, make a few bucks. Worst case, we put an exhaust on it after we get the immobilizer, you know, reading and doing its thing. So I did fix the heater in the rollback today, so it's actually warm in here now. The motor went bad and I finally got a new motor. So let's go on to the Murano and keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get a score on that, then go to the shop. Got the Civic sold, the 4-door. Then we'll jump back on the the Subaru. Then if this one's a score, we'll start cleaning it up, get the exhaust and stuff figured out for it, and then on to the next project. So we'll see what we got. Here we go. I took out the ECU out of the, what is that thing, Nissan Murano. And the guy, today's Tuesday, and the guy's not available till Friday. But I think we might get lucky. I took it to a different place, and they think possibly the key's bad. Well, this guy that I'm talking to now, he's only 45 minutes away from me or less, probably 30 minutes or so. But he actually took my 350Z and he killed the immobilizer in it, so I can put that computer into my G35, into another 350Z, into any 350Z. It kills the fact that the ECU is looking for an immobilizer with your key that has the, what you call it, the immobilizer, the transponder in it. And so the immobilizer reads the transponder, and that lets it know, hey, this is the right key, I'm not being stolen. Well, that guy can actually completely turn that off. So as long as the key fits in the ignition and turns it correctly, the car will start. So this guy that I'm talking to, he thinks that may be the case here on the Nissan Murano. So come Friday, I'm gonna run that to him, and we may have another finance car. And we got to put exhaust on it, we got to clean it up, we got to detail it, we got to do some things there. But we might get lucky on another finance car. I actually sold some stuff on the internet, so I got to pick that up. I've got a rental. We'll go down and look at my rental. Had some stuff stolen out of it, and it's not in a horrible neighborhood, but it's a little less than desired. We're not done with it, and we have not been down there just a little bit. I mean, it's been a little bit since we've actually walked in the door, so, and that's my fault. We should have already done it by now. But I need to go check on it. Then we get some parts, come to the shop. Let's get it done. Let's get going. All right, guys, here we go. All right, guys, well, we got it started up, and I give you a little lowdown on where we're at with it. We actually got to get the, let's see, what is it we got to do? I've got a list here. The transmission cooler, we're waiting on it. Well, one thing, it's got to be detailed. This thing is dirty. I don't know why I didn't pressure wash it. I usually pressure wash the engine base every motor I swap. I don't know why I didn't here. But we got to do some vacuums. I got to finish putting the shifter in. The fuel line, I may clean up some fuel lines and some wiring and dress it up a little better, make it just look a little better. One thing's crazy, it won't shut off. Like the switch itself won't turn the truck off. Even the toggle that is the power to it. So the way it works is you turn the ignition switch on, you flip a toggle up and that powers everything, and then you hit the push button start and that cranks it over, and then you got your fuel and then you got your fan. We can turn everything off, including the ignition, and the truck will still run. And continues to run until it runs out of fuel. So I have to remedy that, whatever that is. And transmission cooler, the lines, I'm waiting on the fittings, I'm waiting on the cooler. The vacuums, I just gotta run and get them. I've actually got the SC300 outside running. I'm gonna jump in it, go up to Knoxville. We're 30 minutes east, I think, of Knoxville. And so I'm gonna run up there. There's a guy that's supposed to be able to program the computer. I went up last week to get my 350Z computer done, and then a few days before that I went to a different place, and that guy hooked up to the Nissan Murano and it showed that something wasn't working right. Well, this guy, he's going to take the computer and just completely tell it not to search for the immobilizer, so maybe that'll fix it. And we'll get that done today, and then we'll be back on the truck after we get some fittings and some parts and stuff, and then we're going to see what's up. One thing I'm worried about is what fuel I'm going to run. I'm debating on running maybe some kind of race gas, or maybe just pump gas or something. I'm not sure what this truck's capable of, or this setup. I'm not a Chevrolet LS swap guru by no means, but it is what it is, and I'm where I'm at with it. So I need to do some research, talk to some people, and see what to suggest. I don't know the lift on the cam. I do know the piston setup, the bore. It's not a high compression engine at all. It's a high lift, and it's flat top pistons, and it's like only 20 over, 30 over, something like that. So it's not crazy, but the parts are there. The aftermarket parts are there. I debated on maybe buying a nitrous kit and setting it up for nitrous and taking it somewhere and having it dynoed and tune the nitrous and all that. But honestly, I'll probably just finish this truck, clean it up, get it solid, run it some, make sure everything's gonna stay together and work like it should, clean it up, and all the wiring, and clean up the body, and get all that done. Probably just sell this truck. So if anybody's looking for a LS swap 5.3 GMC Canyon, and hopefully by then I'll figure out how to turn the truck off so we won't have to let it run out of gas every single time to kill the engine. So, but it does have full suspension on it. It's got the batteries in the back. I need to actually buy a battery small enough to fit. It's got one of the smaller little crates that it sits in and straps in the bed of the truck. Fuel cells in the bed of the truck. Holly red fuel pump. I gotta get the shifter in, get it done. It's just an off-brand shifter. You can always change it if you buy this truck. It could use some headlights. It's got a little body damage on the passenger side. The doors could be replaced. The bed's a little beat up. It's just a truck just to beat on, I guess. And if somebody wanted to make it something nicer or whatever, they could spend the money on it, but it's just not necessarily my forte. I just wanted to experience it, and we had it and made for some good footage. But you can watch all the videos I've done and see what all I've actually done to the engine. It does have the trunnion upgrade, push rods. I'm not sure if the valves are oversized. It does have the 706 heads. It does have those for sure. It's got the Holley LS Series MSD. It has the AVS2 Edelbrock. I think it's a 650. The Holley intake. I think that setup, the Holley intake, the carburetor, and the LS MSD with the wiring for the LS swapped. I think it's near $1,200 or something for that alone. Then a built LS engine. Then there's a truck here and full suspension. The exhaust, I don't like how it sounds. I think I want to do more with the exhaust, try to get a different sound out of it. So this thing will be for sale if anybody's interested in LS truck. We're getting closer. I'm gonna get the shifter in it, get all this other stuff done, and we'll take it for a ride here in a day or two. I have some other projects that are still, catching up to me. So I'll try to get some footage of that, and we'll go for a ride in this thing in a few days. Once all the parts get in, I still got more work to do once the parts are here.